Let's talk about the new reality game show on STV, Genius Games. I didn't get to see this the night it was on, but somebody had messaged me, asked me if I'd watched it and says it was quite complicated, so I wasn't really looking forward to it. Then, before I get a chance to watch it, I swiped left on my phone and it comes up with entertainment news, and it was saying that people were switching this off after 10 minutes because it was too complicated, so I was like, oh, I was really looking forward to a new reality show to watch. I finally got to watch it and I must say I really liked it. It's more of a game show than a reality show, but at this point I've nothing else to watch. I will say that at the very beginning when it was explaining the rules of the game, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. This is pure dragging out, like there's too much explanation going on. But once they actually got into the game, it was totally fine. So at the start they were all introducing themselves, I'm a scientist, I'm a doctor, blah blah blah, I'm so smart, right? And then David Tennant had explained that these things here are called garnets and they're worth £1,000 each. Now, I'm not going to explain the whole rules of the game because it would literally take up this whole video, but the first game was called The Vault. Basically, they had 3 vaults, one with bags of cash, one with bars of gold, and one with a crown, and they had to go in and try and steal for the vaults without overstealing for the vault and getting put to jail. So they weren't literally breaking into vaults, it's all strategy. So they went into a room and told the banker what vault they were going to heist, and they could also tip them off on what vault other people were going to heist. So if somebody went in and told the banker that Paul was going to heist Vault C, and Paul went in and tried to heist Vault C, he would get put into jail and he would risk getting put into the final battle. Now, to me, this was not complicated at all. It was actually quite simple. Trying to get your head around it initially was a bit confusing, but once it started, I was like, right, I get where we're going here. It started off with 12 contestants and they had different rooms they could go and chat in. So half of them went into one room and they started making a plan, and the other half came in, and then the original ones were like, oh no, we're going to go into a different room, like we just want to make a plan. So everybody thought they were going to strategise together, but then the first group was like, oh no, we've already kind of started talking, like just go outside till we speak. So this guy Paul ended up in a different room with the other half of the contestants, and he was like, right guys, I've got this, all we need to do is this, it's so simple, we need to get 10 million each to get a garnet. And they were like, no, it's either 15 or 20 you need. After he waffled on for about 6 minutes, I think they only had like 10 or 15 minutes to make a plan, and he went on and he didn't even fucking know the rules of the game. So Benjamin was like, what the fuck, he's just wasted their time, he's not listening to anybody's plan, like, we need to get him out here. He's one of the guys who is like a manager or a CEO, and he thinks he knows everything, but he literally does not have a fucking clue about anything that's going on in the business whatsoever. He's the manager that you go into work and say, I've got something that I need sorted. Is the assistant manager in? Because this guy's fucking clueless. So the other room had made their plan, and then they gate crashed the other people's room, and she was like, oh, this is our plan, blah, blah, blah. Benjamin wasn't having any of it. Benjamin was like, if you were just making a plan, why did you throw us out the room? You're obviously trying to blindside us, get to fuck. At this point, I'm starting to think he's the only one with a brain. Scott is one of those guys who tries to take charge of the whole situation and thinks that nobody knows what he's doing, when it's blatantly obvious. So they went into the room and they had to decide what vault they were going to open and what they were going to heist, and decide if they were going to tip the banker off to any robberies. And this girl here, I don't know, she just comes across as if she thinks that she's so smart that nobody understands anything that she's doing. Because she was like, oh, I'm going to go for the £10 million crown because there's less chance that other people would go for it. That's what I would have went for. So if we'd have been on this together, we both would have been fucked. But then when she came out in the second round and third round, and she was waiting to see if the vault had been opened, she was like, I'll explain, I'll explain. They don't need you to explain, they're all fucking geniuses. I'm not a genius and even I fucking know what's happening. So she ended up winning the first game, and Paul, the fucking CEO dick who knows nothing about nothing, he ended up having to go into the final battle. He chose to battle Basha, and that's because when he was in jail, she walked past and gave him a note telling him who she thought that he should take into the final battle, and obviously that put a target on her back. She's a doctor and she was saying, I'm not good at puzzles or whatever, like I don't think I'm going to be good at this. So he took her in thinking that she wasn't going to have a clue. The final game was like, spot the difference. So you had to spot differences and similarities, and it was like, same colour backgrounds in 3 of them, same shapes in 3 of them, but something else was different. Like, I'm not even really explaining it right, but I totally got the game, I was playing along and I was loving it. So Paul, who was thinking he was an absolute fucking smart arse, he ended up getting bet. Thank fuck, goodbye to him. So she went on to live another day, and she went on to the next round. So this show is all about alliances, strategies, friendships, like getting people to trust you. This woman, doesn't speak to anybody, so she was fucking highly suspicious. In this episode, they get turned into zombies and humans. 2 of them started off as zombies and the rest of them were humans, and nobody knew what was what. Everybody was also given an antidote to drink, so that if they thought they touched a zombie, they could take the antidote and turn back into a human. Now, they're not dressed up as zombies running after each other or anything, it's just a strategy game. So 2 of them are told in secret that they're zombies, and then it's up to them if they tell the rest of them or not. 2 people will touch a ball, and if a zombie touches with a human, then the human will turn into a zombie. So the whole point was to have either more zombies or more humans in the end. It was a point scoring game. Once again, not too complicated, but it is too complicated to explain the full thing on this because it would take up the full 10 minutes of the video. But once it gets into it, it's very simple. So Charlotte comes out and she trusts a select few people. She's honest and she tells them she's a zombie. Smart move. That's exactly what I would have done. Most of the other people are trying to figure out who the other zombie is, and this woman is saying, I'm a human. Nobody believes her, nobody wants to work with her, nobody wants to touch the ball. They're just like, no, fuck off. So Benjamin's like, look, I want to trust you, I want to trust what you're saying, but I don't believe you, I can't work with you. So everybody's touching the ball in the middle of the room with everybody apart from her, because they believe that she's the zombie. Amalfi comes to the rescue. He's like, oh, ignore those cunts. If you tell me you're a human, I believe that you're a human, I'll touch the ball with you. So they go into the middle of the room in front of everybody and touch the ball, and then in the end it shows the results that one of the humans has been turned into a zombie, and everybody's like, oh my god, that was Amalfi. He trusted that bitch. Turns out that Amalfi was the other zombie the whole time. So in the end, the humans win and they've got to pick somebody to go into the final battle, and they choose Scott. Now, it's not that I think that Scott's a bad guy, I just don't really like his strategy. I don't like the fact that he thinks nobody's noticing his gameplay. So he's got to choose somebody to go into the final battle with him, and he whittles it down and he's like, I trust you in the game, you saved me last time. Right, I think it's got to be between Amalfi and Alison. Alison's the one that nobody wanted to work with at the start, and they're like, ah, fuck off. You're a zombie, I don't trust one fucking word that comes out your mouth, bitch. So at the very start of the show, they all start off with one of the garnets, which is worth £1,000. And if you get eliminated, you give it to the person that beats you, and you can use it to bargain and stuff like that. So Paul's just about to pick Alison to take into the final battle. And Benjamin's like, no, if you don't take Alison, I'll give you my garnet. And everybody's like, oh, interesting, right? So Benjamin's like, she tried to work with me at the start, and if she goes home, it's because I didn't believe her, and because I wouldn't work with her and I'd feel bad. I fucking love this guy. He's actually so smart, right? And he's playing an emotional game and he's not meaning to, but he's my favourite. But Paul thinks he's a smart arse and he chooses Alison anyway. So they get a game called Invisible Noughts and Crosses, and it's a board of noughts and crosses that are gold and silver, and they get to look at the board for 90 seconds, and then they turn over all the discs, and then they've got to decide to swap discs over and then reveal them. And if they reveal like 3 in a row, either noughts and crosses, whatever game they're playing, then they win, and they've got to win 4 to win the entire game. So Alison's like, fuck, this is a memory game. I'm not good at memory games. She's an author, I think she writes crime novels. So she's saying I'm always scheming, but it's not anything to do with memory and puzzles and stuff like that. So Benjamin takes it to the side and he's like, look, just try and remember pairs, try and remember where individual ones are, and then when you swap them over, try and confuse him. So they go into the final battle, and she is fucking amazing. She's amazing. Paul's went in there like, oh, I'm a genius. This woman doesn't stand a chance against me. He got his ass kicked. She was just taking her time. She got to a point that she knew he's confused. She just stood there like, I'll swap these discs. Oh, I'll reveal these. Totally as cool as a fucking cucumber. So Paul got fucked out and Alison lived to play another day. Now this thing, it sounds all complicated, but if you do like game shows and puzzles, then I highly recommend you watch it because I actually really liked it. It's on STV and it's on the STV app if you want to. If you did watch it, let me know what you thought and let me know what you think of Benjamin. I love him. This show is on again on Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll see you again then. Bye!